But like, we'll keep that down a long time. Money.
Actually, I found your GTA videos in middle school and thought,
Let's not talk about that. We'll keep that down.
I love.
Let's steal this niche.
Yeah. We're stealing your channel. What's up, gang? And welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the 5-year anniversary video of this YouTube channel. And I have a special guest with me today. He's been with me on the journey the whole time. Marky G.
Day one.
Day one. And if you
Okay, that's kind of unprofessional. I'm not gonna lie. You should mute your devices.
That was Discord, sorry. If you haven't been a part of the channel when I do one of these videos before, this is basically what it is. It's a little bit of a channel update. It's a little bit of a recap of the last year. And I share a little bit about what I learned this past year running this channel. But because it's the 5-year, I wanted to do it a little differently. I wanted to do a little Q&A this year. So some of y'all sent in questions. And I thought instead of me just sitting here and doing questions by myself, it would make sense to have somebody like actually ask the questions. And that's where Marky G comes into play.
Be the moderator today.
Bit of a moderator.
Yeah.
So that's what this video is all about. Let's just get into it. There's a couple things I do every year with this like yearly recap. And the first thing is I do what my subs were at last year versus what my subs are at now. And last year...
He's decreased subs this year. I have lost followers.
No, okay. We've gained followers, thankfully. Thankfully. Coffee break. Coffee break means to check your posture on camera. Last year, when I made this video, I had 6,077 subscribers. As of right now, take a guess.
So with those 6,000 what?
Last year was 6,077. What do you think I have now?
I'm gonna guess. Let's say 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
8,117.
Wow, it's pretty good.
8,117. Gang, as always, thank you for subscribing to this channel. It actually blows my mind that there's been over 8,000 people who have been like, I'm gonna hit the sub button and see what this dude posts on YouTube. So if you're one of those people, if you've been here since the beginning or you just started following last week, thank you. It really means a lot. It's super cool that there's people who actually want to watch any of the ridiculous things.
I don't get it, but yeah. Good for you guys.
Yeah, he just films it. Every total number of videos that I made this year. Take a guess. Or uploaded, I should say uploaded.
Let's see. Very minimal, I know that for sure.
That was minimal.
I'm gonna guess 7. A whopping 7.
10.
10. Wow.
Yeah, 10 whole videos.
He was really depriving you guys here. Wow.
Last year at the 4-year, I was like, guys, I'm having a tough time. So we took some time, and eventually we got around to it. Then I usually like to highlight what the favorite video of the year was that I made.
Oh.
But I want to ask you, because you helped me make all of them pretty much. So
Yeah.
what's your take? What's your favorite video we put out?
Oh, I can't remember. Maybe the movie one. Like you haven't seen Fight Club.
What? You've never seen Fight Club?
So I would say there's a tie for me, the two favorite videos I made this year. And the first one is how people react when not seeing a movie.
Dude, you gotta watch Fight Club.
And the second one is how cars work in horror movies.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, you and Robbie? Yeah, that was a good one. Yep.
All right, so like I said, some of y'all came through and sent in some questions. Which camera are you looking at? Are you going
I'm
middle, or
not
are you
going
looking
back
at
and forth here. I'm going back and forth.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the middle one for this one.
Okay.
Some of y'all sent in some questions, and they were great questions. And I picked through some of them, and we're gonna go through that today. I'm gonna answer them. So thank you for making the 5-year Q&A a thing. I didn't know if I'd get any submissions, but y'all came through. So without further ado, let's dive into the Q&A.
All right, first question comes from JCG052, and he asks, what's it like being so handsome and talented?
He picked these questions.
No!
I want you guys to know that our leaves are kind of interlocked right now because this table is very, very...
Yeah, you can't tell, but our legs are very much
They are completely interlocked.
I'm gonna just get a quick clip of that. This is what it looks like down under there. They're touching.
So next question from Rappin' for Jesus asks,
Amen.
what is your PC build?
I don't have a PC. I use a MacBook M3 Pro.
Next question, let's pull it up. Next question is from Serenity. Okay, Serenity OK Para?
That's a good guess. That's what I would have said.
041.
That's what I got with.
Hi Nate, what editing software do you use?
I use Adobe Premiere Pro and pretty much the entire Creative Suite.
From I'm a Shortstop, ask, what's some advice for someone who wants to start a YouTube channel?
Okay, great question. So I have some notes here, but I would say there's a lot of layers. The first layer would be to just start. I think a lot of people think about getting the right gear and having like channel art and all that stuff, and they kind of put off starting until they have all those things. But you could just start by using your phone. And once you actually start by filming with your phone, you'll know whether or not you actually want to do this, because if you go and buy all this gear and get all this channel art and then you start and then you're like, oh, I actually don't want to do this, you just wasted a bunch of time and money on a channel you don't even want to run. But if you start filming with whatever you have and you start posting and you realize it's something you want to do, you're just going to get more motivated to keep going and keep doing it.
Piggyback off that, I think people mostly follow you for you, not like the production value. I mean, production value adds to you, don't get me wrong, but I think people are mainly following you for you and, you know, your personality and how you're on camera and, you know, whether people resonate with you or not. I think that's what's most important.
100%. Yeah. I mean, one of the other things that people think about when they start a channel is they'll get into like, well, I want to do this, but it's already such an oversaturated market. Like everybody does it, but no one does it like you would do it.
Right.
And that's kind of been the biggest thing for me is like, I've made tutorials that you can go find the exact same tutorial that somebody else made. Like,
That are better than his.
Better or better.
But it's Nate's own niche.
right. But like, it's, you know, a different style, but like the topic is the same. Right. But people will watch yours because you do it. Another thing I would say is, and this is more of a cautionary to people who are creatives that want to start a YouTube channel. Obviously, YouTube has like this business side of it, and that's fine that it does that. And some people pursue YouTube for the business side of it, but for creatives, when you start a channel, try not to get caught up in the perks of YouTube, like making money, working with brands, just that whole business side. You have to make what you want to make, get good at making what you like to make, and then naturally, like, the audience will come. And when the audience comes, that's when those perks kind of start to come in. And these things are cool, but if you chase them, like if you chase the money side, you chase the brand deals, you chase like all that stuff, you get burnt out. You'll get burnt out, and making videos starts to feel like a job. And I know that from experience. And I've talked to you about that a lot. Like, chasing, like, oh man, I'm like I just need like 100 more hours till I get monetized. And what ends up happening is you start compromising like the quality of your work to like try and chase this thing.
Right. Just what I guess setting expectations for yourself, you know.
Right.
Go easy on yourself when you're first starting it.
Right. Like, just have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Like, definitely advice I'd give is focus on quality over quantity. There is a population of YouTube that will say like, you need to pump out content and just have a ton of content for people to watch. And like, I can get that, but if the quality of the content isn't good, why would people stick around and stay? And I've done that too. Like, again, I have tried to just be like pumping out content, and I end up making content that I look at back.
He's made some real crap videos before, but like, we'll keep that down long time.
But yeah, I've made stuff that I look back at now and be like, yeah, I definitely rushed that because in the name of like getting content out.
Right.
Another thing, be okay with failing. I think like definitely try a bunch of different types of content. If I look back at some of the videos I made, I did like an unboxing video for my wedding band.
You remember that?
What the heck, dude?
No.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do that?
Bad idea.
Because I wanted to try it. But I'm glad I tried it because I learned that it wasn't the type of content I wanted to make. Now I do like some unboxing when like a product comes in, but like I'm not like, check out my new ring. Like, which no disrespect to anybody who does the rings, but like, it's just not for me. Right. But I learned that by doing it. Yep. And then lastly, And this one's a little silly, but it's very important. When you post your videos, you gotta learn how to make a good thumbnail.
That's true.
It's something I still haven't cracked it yet. I don't think I've fully gotten it. I think I've gotten better at it, but like it's the first thing that people are going to see when they're scrolling through YouTube. It's the first preview, the first glimpse they have into your video, and it's got to catch them. So like if you want to make YouTube videos that get like clicks, you got to master the thumbnail. Yeah. You don't make a lot of thumbnails because you don't make YouTube videos. I've been trying to get Mark to make YouTube videos forever. Do you have any advice for people who are starting a YouTube channel?
No, because I don't do YouTube.
Hey.
I'm on Instagram Reels. If you want to follow me on Instagram Reels.
Yeah, follow at Marky G Films. He has like a bunch of followers.
Okay, next question comes from Daniel. What's up, Daniel? Daniel YJK. Well, Daniel asked, what made you want to be a creator?
Tough question.
It was all me. I inspired him from the start. He just saw my videos in college. Just wow, that kid's so good. I want to top them, and he never did. But
Right. Actually, I found your GTA videos in middle school and thought
let's not talk about that. We'll keep that down.
I don't really think I could like pinpoint it down, but I would say when I was a kid, I just liked watching things and being entertained. Like it starts there. And I loved skateboarding when I was a kid. I still love skateboarding now. But back then, I would watch skate videos all the time. Like skate teams would like travel the world and like film all the tricks they were doing, and like they looked like they were having so much fun like on tour. And it was just really fun to watch. And so I wanted to make skate videos with my friends, but not because I wanted to showcase my skateboarding skills, because I was like a young chubby guy. I had no skateboarding skills. But I just wanted to film something that was fun and entertaining for us to watch. And then YouTube became popular. And like watching funny videos and stuff on the internet, like I don't know if you remember like shoes or like shoes.
Yeah.
Let's get some like that video. Like that whole thing, it became popular, and I just like liked watching funny videos. And then I wanted to make funny videos with my friends. And then when I was in high school, I watched a lot of like Jimmy Tatro, Dom Mazzetti, Good Neighbor stuff on YouTube. And I just thought like, man, I want to do what these guys are doing. Like they just make funny videos. And then like similar movies like 21, 22 Jump Street, Neighbors, Step Brothers, all that. Like I just loved the concept of filming stuff that was funny and entertaining, and like people wanted to watch it. I started making comedy skits, and then in college I started doing film festivals with you actually. We started doing film festivals. And I just got way more into like the filmmaking side of it, led to doing more sketch comedy, got more into like short films, like traditional filmmaking. So yeah, I would say that's kind of how it started as wanting to be a creator. I love how a funny skit or a video or a good movie makes me feel. And I've always wanted to give that same experience to other people.
Next question is from Paul Jakeman. And he asked, what do you do when you hit a wall? I can't think. What the next project should be. So when you hit a creative roadblock, what do you do in that instance?
Okay, this one has a lot of layers, and like I've expressed on this channel before, like I've hit walls.
I mean, he's only posted 10 videos in this past year.
Right,
So.
I only posted 10. There's clearly some walls I've hit, right? I've definitely hit walls, and I've talked a lot about being stuck, but I feel like right now, like recently in my creative endeavors, I have some systems that have developed that have been helpful for preventing from even hitting the wall that I've been using this last year. So right now, one of the things that I do is I keep a running list of ideas, of videos, skits, or short films. That's a pretty common thing I feel people do, is like have a running list of ideas. So the big thing about the list though is that I allow myself to work on whatever one currently excites me, regardless of what stage of production that it's in. So I don't always like make a video in full and then check it off the list. I'll allow myself to move to whatever one is currently exciting me, and then make my way back to it. So for example, like sometimes I'm writing a script for a video of one short while I'm in the editing process of another short, while I'm simultaneously filming a different short. So like we've done that. Like there have been times where you and I went and shot a video, like we shot a skit while I'm writing a different skit, and then I'll actually be editing a different video and that'll end up in the queue. But I was excited to go film that, so I went and filmed that rather than like feeling like, okay, I had to film this, I gotta shoot it, and I gotta edit it, and then when it's done, I can move on. Like I allowed myself to like bounce around between these ones, and it just helps me feel more motivated, and it helps me feel like the creative wheel keeps turning, like I'm not getting stuck on a project. Giving myself permission to work on different projects has been huge. Now, obviously, there's a caution in that. I think you could end up, if you live too much into that, you could end up starting a bunch of projects and not finishing them. But I just make sure that if it's like I have the desire to edit, like that energy to edit a video is re-sparked. Okay, well, it's the one that needs to be edited. Like I'm not gonna like edit an entirely different video. It's the one that's in queue that I still need to edit, if that makes sense.
That's just interesting because I understand what you're saying, but like if I put a project off after filming it, I work on something else, and then I eventually come back to the other project, I have like zero motivation to the other project anymore. So do you not ever like come across that? You know, returning back to an older project to edit it, do you not lack that motivation to complete it, or how do you find that spark again to kind of get that creative fulfillment out of doing it again?
I think it depends on like whose project it really is. Like if it's mine, like if I'm like shooting a skit, I don't really feel that way. But I know you and I specifically feel that way when like a client job comes up.
Freelancers.
Business. Welcome to our business seminar. No, but yeah, like if I do a client job and it's like clearly not like something I'm making for me, it's something I'm making for somebody else. If I wait too long, that motivation can go away. Yeah. So like those ones I have to like, I got to do it, or else the block will definitely come and I won't be able to move past it. But with my personal projects, I've found that like having the wiggle room has been really helpful. Another side of it is that when I like definitely do hit the wall, a big thing that's been helpful for me is learning to like give myself grace. I talk about my faith a lot on this channel. And I believe that God is a God who knows when to stop and when to rest, and I need to learn to know when to stop as well. And I need to have grace with myself to give myself permission to stop. And having the self-awareness of knowing when I need to stop in my creative process and put the creative work down, rest, and then come back to it when I'm refreshed. And that's challenging because I do think, you know, we're in a culture that's like hustle, grind, like keep going, like don't stop till it's done and like whatever. But like if I'm burnt out, how can I do that? Right. So like learning to stop has been another big thing. Like, yeah, you hit the wall. It's not, okay, how do I get around the wall? It's like, why don't we just chill for a bit? And that might be the way through the wall.
I have hit walls in different ways. Essentially, it's like whenever I'm doom scrolling through like Instagram or something like that, I'm seeing all these other creators creating these like awesome pieces of content. Like they're so good. I'm like I can't do that. You know, like I feel like, oh, they're so much better than me.
The comparison trap is
the comparison. You know, really.
Yeah. I'll run right into the wall when I start comparing myself to other people.
Exactly.
And it's so hard, like, not to when you're in the age of content. Like,
right.
I feel like there was a time where, like, so for example, when we were in college and you and I were like doing these short films, or like you uploaded something to YouTube, no one was doing that. Like that wasn't like a thing everyone was doing. And now like everyone is posting videos like online. Like the quality or the topic is up for whatever, but like now everyone's doing it and it's like, well, how do I set myself apart? And this person's doing this so well and I wish I could do it. And like I'll run right into the wall when I do that. Dude, I watched some of your videos and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Look at how good Mark is at what he does. Jeez. Are you getting bashful?
A little bit.
Stop.
Next question comes from Daniel again.
Another one from
Daniel.
This.dy.
All right.
This is already saying.
What are some things you wish you could have done differently? A lot.
A lot. So many things I wish I could have done differently. This will tie a little bit back to the previous question. So when I started my YouTube channel, you've heard me say this a bunch. The goal was I wanted to make what I wanted to make, when I wanted to make it, how I wanted to make it, right? And that, and share it with an audience. Obviously, that's a part of it. And this ended up becoming like comedy skits, short films, and like filmmaking tutorials to help other beginners like do the same. And after a period of time early on, like my channel started to get more subs. I saw that there were these perks to having a larger YouTube channel. Like
Money.
I could tap into getting money from monetization or brand deals is another one. Like, oh, I could work with other clients or like big brands to get scent gear and all this stuff. And this all led to a point where I got really caught up into making YouTube into a business. So I needed more subs to get more like reach, get more views, get monetized, and then I could do business with like all these people. And at that time, in my mind, a business on YouTube had a certain look. It had a catchphrase. It had a system. They were consistent. They had like a strategy. They made content with the goal of reach. And it appeared to be that there was like a formula or like there was like a science to it. And I thought that I could do that with my YouTube channel. And my method for doing that was to try and position myself as a filmmaking expert.
Which he's not.
I am not. But that's what like I feel like some. And there's people who use the business strategy for YouTube, and that's what they want to do, and it works. But like positioning yourself as an expert is one of those strategies, and I'm not that. And so I niched down super hard, and I started implementing all those ideas that I had about what a business on YouTube like should look like. And yeah, like I saw that tutorials were the types of videos that were like getting traction. So I just thought like in order for my YouTube channel to grow, to get to the business level, I should keep doing that. I should keep making tutorials. That's like the only way large crowds would listen to me is if I made tutorials and they were coming from this filmmaking expert. And so I started making all these tutorials, and it's all knowledge that I thought was important, and like it's knowledge I did have, but I was by no means like an expert at all. And some of you might have like come to this channel from watching the tutorials, and that's great. But when I watch them, I personally feel like there's a huge lack of authenticity in those videos. And like, I just go like, dude, like I wasn't an expert. I'm still learning. And I know then I was definitely still learning because I know more than I did then. I know more now than I did then. And it just gave me like this imposter syndrome that really hurt my creative process. I mean, you had an outside perspective on that. Do you have any?
Well, no, I mean, I thought the content you were making was still good content, but like, I just remember you were on the strict like posting schedule, and I could tell, like, I remember you were like kind of getting burnt out, and because you had conversations with me, and at some point where you were saying I was becoming like forced and whatnot, I could tell that you were kind of getting like in this phase eventually, like, oh, like I don't know if this is for me and whatnot. It just kind of burnt you out as a person,
Right.
and that led to burnout, like when that happens, like you kind of that kind of comes across in content, people can tell you're kind of off. But
Another big thing that I look back on and like wish I did differently was the whole like niching down thing. Niche to me meant that people could come to my channel and know exactly what to expect from me, and that was filmmaking content. And that being said, I think that's a good thing. In some ways, like having a niche is a good thing. People knowing like, okay, he's going to post about filmmaking stuff, I'm going to follow him. Like that makes sense. But the problem for me is that I took it to like a whole new level. I cared so much about people knowing exactly what to expect that I would like script my videos the exact same way every time. Like it wasn't just the business strategy, it was like the niche too.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nate Killian, and on this channel I make short films, comedy skits, and filmmaking tutorials, and my goal is to help you take your first steps as a filmmaker, or if you're already a filmmaker, to help you keep taking steps.
Like I had a catchphrase in my tutorial. Like I would say the same thing. I would intro my videos the same all the time.
it was so cringe.
Dude, I look back now and
The posture's horrible.
I look back now and it is cringy. I watch those videos. I'm like, why did I think this was a good idea? Like
You can still delete them. There's still a time. I'm kidding.
I know. The footprint. My footprint.
it became very formulaic. I just like implemented this strategy and formula.
At one point you did that tutorial was only like 1 minute. What was that? Was it a thing you were doing?
I tried to do like 1 minute tutorials at one point. And like that was because I was like, oh, this will be a good like business idea. Right. And I said the exact same thing in those videos. Like, hey, that's not a lot of time, so let's hop in.
Like every single time. Like that's what I did.
I remember that.
And like, I don't know, like, it's also like the Mr. Beast thing. Like, if you watch Mr. Beast's videos, right? Like, they're not all the same videos, but there's clearly a formula. There's like a strategy. Like the video's like, I locked myself in a basement for 30 days. And like, it's like all these quick, fast cuts and there's font on the screen. And like, you watch that enough and kind of like what you said with the social media stuff, you're going to think, I got to be doing that. That's what I got to do. And he's like the king of making YouTube.
But that's his thing. That's who he is. Exactly. That's not to say that's who you are. That's not your formula.
Right.
You know, it doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
And that's why he himself is successful in doing that. I mean, he just did his Beast Games thing, which is like a massive success because he followed that same formula on YouTube, but he brought it to streaming.
Right.
But that's his own thing. Not to say like anybody else can do it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, you got to be your authentic self.
Right.
And yeah, it's not that I look at the things that I did and think like they're bad. It depends on the type of content that you want to make and also kind of your goal for the channel. And like I said, my goal in the very beginning was I want to make what I want to make, when I want to make it, how I want to make it. And I just got really far away from that because by how I niched down and how I thought about niche, how I thought about business, I built a box of what I could make and what I shouldn't make and how I make it. And it became like exhausting because I was like, oh, I have an idea. It doesn't fit the box that I've made for the channel. Like I have all these parameters and how would I get it to fit in there? But that's not to say that like having a niche or using YouTube as a business is a bad thing. I just did it terribly. And I wish I could do it differently looking back. But
Daniel asks again, 5 years later, what perspectives have changed for you? Do you see things with a different lens? Pun intended.
Pun intended. Good question. I would say that the way I looked at YouTube as a whole has changed. So now if I go back to that like original goal of making what I want, when I want, how I want, etc. In all that, the end goal when I started was to be a YouTuber. But that's been the big shift for me. YouTube is not the end goal. So YouTube has become, for me, it's just the platform, it's the medium in which I share, but it's not the end goal. It's just where I share my work. And that's not to fire a shot at anybody who like does want to be a YouTuber. That's just the shift that occurred to me in the last year. It helped me take the pressure off of what I create and how I create it. Like, I don't know if you feel that way about like Instagram. You post a lot of stuff on Instagram, but like, I wouldn't say, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but it sounds like when you speak to me, you're not like, I want to be an Instagram influencer.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it happens, great. But like, I'm not striving to become that. You know, I'm just posting as I want to, the content I want to post, just for my own, you know, fulfillment of posting it and sharing it with my friends. I'm not like, oh, I need to make sure this goes viral, kind of thing. Right. You know? I'm just posting to post it.
You're not in it for the perks of Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just sharing because I want to share my work. Right. You know, it's like it's art. You know, for us, and this is how I'm treating it. I'm not like I need to get this like viral video going.
Right.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you treat it like a portfolio.
Exactly. That's what I'm using it.
Yeah.
You know.
And then if someone comes along and sees it, that's great. But like, you know, it doesn't have to be bigger than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
Next question is not from Daniel, finally. No shit at Daniel, sorry. Colin Abram Films asked, what's been your favorite recent project so far?
I would say probably how people react
When you haven't seen a movie they've seen.
And why is that?
Well, the whole concept is like a very serious reality for me. Like people in my circle, like they always, if there's a video or a movie I haven't seen, they're like, what? You haven't seen that? And every single time I'm like, why is the reaction the same every single time?
Yeah.
It's always the same and it's hysterical to me. And then just on a, so I had fun, like kind of joking at them. Cause now like my friends will do it and I'll be like, you know, I made a video about you. And they're like, what? Did you really? And then they watch it and they're like, good one. And I'm like, yeah.
And then we have a follow-up question from Colin. Colin also asked, after 5 years of YouTube, what are some of the most important things you've gotten out of it?
I would say it's given me a reason to create. I think like I have, I've met people who have like all these ideas for skits or films, and they're like, yeah, like I'll get around to it. But like if you don't have a reason to do it, like other than drive, like you're likely not to do it because you don't have a space to share.
Like you said, is your medium. It's expressing yourself. Right. Yeah.
Right. It's the place to put it. So I think for me, it's given me a reason to keep creating and keep trying to expand and grow and just like, make my jokes or tell my stories or whatever. And I think without it, at that point, it was only like film festivals. And that's another great way to do it. It gives you an additional purpose besides just like, I want to make a movie. But I'm not currently in the film festival world.
Ooh, we got a long one here. Productions KBA ask, "Hi Nate, been a fan of your channel for quite a while now. I'm an aspiring YouTuber, and I wanted to know what you think are the key elements in growing a channel for the first 1,000 subscribers, and also how could a small creator like myself potentially get brand deals and/or collaborations. And I'm trying to make my videos cinematic and movie-like, as filmmaking is a passion of mine. But I've merged this with another hobby of mine, which is 3D printing. Oh, interesting. I previously only been making vlogs, so now I want to create a shift in my niche. How do you suggest a smaller creator could go about finding the right audience for their niche and actually reaching a wider range of people?" Great question.
Great question.
First of all, really cool to hear like the filmmaking and 3D printing.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I would be really interested in that.
So, first 1,000 subs. So I'll kind of echo a little bit what I said earlier. I think make what you want to make, right? Like if you want to make filmmaking and like cinematic videos and combine it with 3D printing, do that because there's an audience for it.
That is a niche.
That's
that
a
is
niche.
For sure a niche.
For sure a niche.
Yeah.
And there is a population of people who would be really into
Yeah.
that. So make what you want to make. But I would say too, like, find a way to make what you want to make in the list style videos. So the list style is like the tutorials or like top 5 whatever or best blank for 3D printing.
People love that.
Because like when you go on, think of things that people are going to Google.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like best 3D printer software, right? And you have an answer for that, you can literally make a video in the way that you want to make it. Again, if you want to make the video that's like best 3D printer software.
Yeah.
And so I think that that would be a great way to kind of get those first 1,000 subscribers, add value to people before you like just make vlogs. Something I've heard about people who start vlogging channels. Sometimes it works out. People just make vlogging channels and it works out. But something I heard was like, you're asking people who don't know you to hang out with you.
Right.
Versus if you have value on the channel, like tutorials or how-tos or anything like that, people will see the value, but then they kind of get attached to your personality, like you talked about earlier. And now you make a vlog and they're like, oh, I like this person, so I'm going to watch regardless of what it is. Even if it's not 3D printing related, I'm in because I like Productions KBA. So, and I think with like finding the audience is just about like see what works, do what you like to do, but also see what works. And when you're under 1,000 subscribers, like there's really no like shift in niche yet. Like you have so much room to play. Yeah. I feel like even now, like I feel like I still have room to play. Like I only have 8,100 subs. Now, if you have like 500,000 or like even 100,000,
then there's an expectation already set.
There's an expectation already set. And if I'm just like, I'm gonna make videos reviewing stuffed animals, like that would be a total.
Welcome back to my cooking channel, guys.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's a cooking channel. I can't do that.
Yeah. But like, if you have under 1,000, I think the expectation is that you're starting out, you're getting your footing, and people kind of know that. So, do you think I answered that question?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking all these cool ideas you could be doing later down the line now. It's like, you can make like, oh, I made this prop. I 3D printed this prop for this short film I'm doing. Or like,
right, yeah.
Or even like miniature sets.
Oh, yeah, that'd be so cool. Yeah, no, now I'm going too.
Yeah.
Like, I love
Let's steal this niche.
Yeah. We're stealing your channel. It's starting right here. You go to a different channel, it starts with this exact shot.
And whatever you 3D print, send me something.
For free.
For free.
So we have a couple questions from Studio Media Filmmaking. Is that how Studio.
Studio.
All right, that's a fun way to spell it. What is the most challenging part of your filmmaking journey so far? Most challenging part.
Most challenging part. Ooh. I mean, other than the box that I put myself in and like niching down and all that stuff, that was probably the most challenging. But it's also I think for me, is navigating my identity as a creative. So like I am not what I create. And my art is like, yeah, I guess like people will say it's an extension of themselves, which I agree with. Like it allows me to express myself. But my value is not dependent on like the performance or the feedback of what I make. I really wrestled with that. It was really challenging. Like if I would put all this heart and energy into like a film and it got like 300 views, I would be like, well, if no one's watching it and they don't care, or they must not think it's good. And if they don't think it's good, that means I'm not good. And like,
Which is true. I'm kidding.
Right. Thanks. There's like really sad music playing, and you're like, and he sucks.
no, but yeah, the identity piece of like where I attach myself to my work has been, I think, a huge challenge. And that was a lot of what like last year I talked about, like the 4 year was like me and my identity with my work. Yeah.
And then finally, from studio media filmmaking, we have where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So, a decade from when you started YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it would be a decade.
Yeah.
Well, probably see myself collaborating with Mr. Beast.
Yeah. Or dead.
It's just a live stream with my corpse.
Oh my god. Just decaying.
Just decay. I decayed in 10 days.
5 years from now, oh, dude, I'm so bad at these questions. Like when someone asked me this in a job interview. Ooh, so is it? Give me some constraints of how you're interpreting the question. Is it about in YouTube?
I guess in the creative field, do you see yourself pursuing YouTube? Do you see yourself? I guess are you gonna be where do you aspire to be, or where do you think you will be?
Okay, so I definitely still think I'll be doing like uploading YouTube videos. Like I don't really.
You'll be 35 at that point.
I'll be 35. Actually, if it was 5 years from now, I'll be 34.
All right, close.
So, yeah.
Well, they say, I mean, like Casey Neistat says, like you spend your 20s building it, you spend your 30s living it, you spend your 40s like reaping the benefits. So we'll see where that goes.
All right.
5 years from now, I would say still uploading videos. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know like what type of video. I think it'll still be within the same ballpark.
Family vlogs.
Family vlogs. I mean,
If things go the way we hope and pray, likely a child or two. I don't know. Maybe a couple kids. So
Unboxing a kid.
unboxing a kid. I got this brand new baby. The best baby for your household.
yeah, so I think still uploading videos. I think I'm hoping within the next 5 years, there's like another outlet of creativity where like YouTube was the bridge to it. So like maybe there's films and maybe I would love to get back into the film festival thing. I've always had like a dream or goal of like making a Sundance film, even if it's a short film. Like it'd be really cool. I went to Sundance for an internship when I was in college and worked there for that festival in 2017. And I've always said like I'm not going back till I have a film in here, whether I'm a part of it or whether it's mine. I don't care, but I will not go back till I have a film in here. And so I don't know. That's an ambitious goal, but I think it'd be cool within the next 5 years just to like get back into film festivals and build up a a community of filmmakers that like want to let's just make a movie,
Right.
Well, I think in 5 years I won't be your friend anymore. It's probably at some point.
Yeah, me and Mark will probably break
But
up.
falling out. Yeah.
Yeah, falling out.
I'll be doing better, bigger things than you probably.
Right. I mean, Mark already, for the record, Mark does do big things. These hats, they're from 47. Mark's the content creator for 47.
Shout out to 47. Go buy their hats.
Yeah, please sponsor me. I might know a guy I could ask for that for, but I wear 47 hats in every single one of my videos. But Mark does do big things. So I mean, in 5 years, hopefully, we're still doing things together.
I don't know. I might blow you off. I don't know.
Mark's like, I don't know. I've been trying to end this for a bit. Kind of get rid of the friendship.
Kidding, no.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, those are the only questions that were submitted, right? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Guys, that's it. That's 5 years of YouTube. It's crazy that it's been 5 years.
Yeah, it feels like just yesterday, like we like released,
The collab video.
collab. Oh, that awful collab.
The collab video. I remember uploading that thinking like, oh, dude, we're gonna blow up.
Like, I literally thought, like, oh, it's such a good video. Like, it's
And we
gonna
never
blow
did.
up.
Gang, thank you for watching. Thanks for being around these 5 years. However you found this channel, I'm really glad you're here. Mark, thanks for being with me on the journey for 5 years. Mark shoots like every video I make, so thank you, Mark, for just being along for the ride.
My pleasure.
And your friendship. I feel like doing these things have brought us closer together, which is cool.
Definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot.
A lot of fun.
Mhm.
3 cheers for 5 years. Hopefully 5 more. Gang, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Keep telling stories.
Bye.
Bye.